Hello everyone, I hope you guys are doing great and wonderful. I know it's been a really long time since I posted anything on YouTube. I think it's close to 2 years now. The reason is, so there were majorly two reasons why I started making any videos on YouTube in the first place. First was just for me to build my own confidence, and the second reason was I first came to this location of Sarnia in Canada, and when I was new here, I was trying to find videos related to Sarnia and I couldn't find anything at all. So I thought, if I can also make videos related to Sarnia, it's going to help people who are coming to that location. However, it so happened that I was not in Sarnia for a long time. I just stayed there for 2 weeks because my education was completely online. I moved to Toronto here, and then I felt like it was pointless to make YouTube videos any longer. But everybody that I meet nowadays always tell me that I should be making videos because it might be helpful to someone out there. So yeah, without talking much about it, I'll quickly start with this video. I'll try to be consistent from now. I'll try to post as much information as I possibly can, because most of the content is always similar to what you usually find on YouTube. If it was something else and different that that I don't find on YouTube and I think it'll be helpful to you guys, I'll try to make videos mostly based on that. So yeah, so today's video is going to be things that I could have done better. So if only I had a chance to change anything in the last 2 years. So this would be something that I would definitely be focusing on. So I just have a list here. I kept a book ready, so if I'm looking down, it's mostly because of that. So the first and the foremost thing that is very important is to pick the right course. I know a lot of us usually come here because eventually we want to get PR in our own field, and then we just come with any education. We just pick up any education in random. I'm not sure if everybody does that, but most of the people that I personally know, they have picked a random course. Everybody in my particular class happened to tell me that they also just randomly picked this course, and eventually when we finished the course, it was not much of a help for all of us. Some of them settled in different other fields, and it was all kind of a messy situation. So for me, if I could make any changes to it, maybe I would have picked a chose a course that is closest to my interest, and something in which I wanted to settle. So yeah, my course is kind of related to what I want to see, or where I see myself, or what I see myself doing in the next 5 years. My course is somewhere related to it, but it wasn't focusing majorly on what my interest level were. It was a course that was randomly covering most of the topics and most of the job roles as well. I will be doing a video on that too, about more details about my course. So I took business management, international business. That was my course, and I did it from Lambton College, Sarnia. So in the next video, I might be talking about what my course is, what it covers in all of the semesters. So that's the first and the foremost thing. Choose a course that you think that you will see yourself working in that specific field. So in order to describe it a little more, if you think you would want to get into marketing, if you think you're good at sales, you want to be a marketing manager, choose a course that will emphasize more of it, because Canadian education system is a lot different when compared with the Indian education system. So in the Canadian education system, it's mostly about them making us do practical stuff. So we end up learning a lot about the course while we are doing it, because most of the assignments are like that, where you have to give presentations to the professor, and the exams here are not theoretical based mostly. So yeah, that is one thing that would definitely help you to enhance more on your course. If you want to get into IT, there are wonderful courses out here. Like, I know a couple of them, like cyber crime, cyber management or something. I'm not really sure about it. One of my cousins who recently came here has taken a course related to that. I think it's called cloud computing or something like that. So make sure that you pick your right course to get into the college. Okay, so now let's talk about the second most important thing that you have to remember, or something that I really did not focus much on. It's your co-op. So when I initially came here, a lot of people who happened to know me told me that I need to start applying for co-op from the second semester. I was a little not too confident about getting into the right co-op, and I didn't know how to apply for it, or I did not find any good videos on YouTube I wouldn't say I didn't find good videos on YouTube. Honestly, my network was very bad, so I did not have a lot of people who got co-ops and did something amazing. So I couldn't gather much information about it. And when I started applying for co-op, it was too late for me to know more about it or do anything about it. So I just did what I could best do, apply for some internships later on in the third semester. It was an unpaid internship and I ended up doing it. However, when I got good opportunities later, because I applied in a very at the end of third semester, that is when I started getting good opportunities. But according to my college rule, when I submit a copy of the co-op, that this is what my co-op is going to be, I cannot change it again. So that happened to me. And also, when you have to submit your co-op details to the college, it's I was expecting that it would be just 1 week before the co-op starts. However, for my college the rules were a little different. I had to submit my co-op details exactly 1 or 2 weeks after my third semester, so I did not really get a chance to get all opportunities by then. So most of them that I got my results were later after the deadline, and the only reason being I applied for those co-ops really late. It was in the start of the third semester was when I applied for it, and it did not go as I planned. So maybe if you guys are really interested to get into co-op, which is again a big thing here, if you get the right co-op and if you are really good at what you're doing, there are chances that they might just hire you as a full-time employee after your co-op opportunity. So that was something that I lagged in, and I got into an unpaid internship. I will definitely make more videos about my co-op as well, just to know what kind of co-op opportunities can you try being in this particular field of business management. And yeah, so make sure to apply for your co-op as early as the end of second semester or the mid of second semester. The sooner you get it, the better it is, because you can start working there as a part-time employee also at the same time. And when it comes to co-op, they will be able to, because you already work there, and you have created a good name for yourself. When it comes to converting your part-time job to a co-op, it shouldn't be a big hassle. They usually agree for it. Okay guys, now let's talk about the third thing, which I think I could have done really better, was finding the right part-time job. So like I said, I was really bad at networking. When I just came to a new place, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know whom to talk to or who was the right person to speak with. And also because my most of my education was online, I hardly met my classmates or spoke to them, or I hardly got a chance to meet my professors as well. So getting a part-time job was a big hassle for me, at least. I initially started off doing Uber walks, and then after a month I've started apply when I used to go to apply for jobs in the mall or any places close by. This to clearly tell me that they would tell me that because it's winter, we're not hiring at the moment and all of that. I really got very disheartened by it, and I thought that it was not possible to get any kind of job. And then I later on got a job right next to my place at an Indian grocery store, and I started working there. So what happened with that is, when I hear people who recently have come to Canada, or when I initially came to Canada, when I asked people about it, there was not really anybody who gave me more idea of how things would work here. And I thought working at an Indian grocery store was everything, and that was my safe space. I continued working there, and I was so scared about the job because I was always scared that they might fire me for some stupid reason, and then I'll not have any job. This is only because people whom I met or I spoke to, they happened to be working in grocery stores or food stores and places like that. So I did not really know or meet anybody who did a different kind of job who would have boosted my confidence. So I used to always be scared about it. I lost a lot of confidence because of that, working at the grocery store too, because I used to think that that's it, like my entire life in Canada is going to be that I would be working at a grocery store and there's nothing else. I know it sounds very stupid, but when you start working at a place, and when you keep going through a lot, because you also keep missing your family, you have to take care of yourself, you have to take care of your assignments, a lot of this going on with your mental health as well. So you kind of lose a lot of confidence and faith in you, You need to have the right set of people around you. Luckily, I did have had a lot of amazing friends around me. They used to lighten my mood up, push me, and I used to look at them. I used to feel like I also need to get settled just like them, because most of the friends that I was around, they already finished their education here, and they were all doing a full-time position in IT and things like that, and that's the reason they were not able to help me much with my part-time position. And things were different when they came to Canada versus when I came to Canada. But again, I will tell this out to you guys right now. When anybody comes to Canada, remember, working at a grocery store or any small stores, that's just not it. You have wonderful opportunities when it comes to finding the right part-time job. And I myself have done a couple of part-time jobs. I kept changing a lot of positions when I was doing this part-time positions, and they pay you really really well. Again, I used to see people on YouTube make these videos that you can apply for a lot of part-time jobs and you will get into data entry and stuff like that. I tried finding it, but there was, for some reason, I wasn't getting enough response. So I know what I did wrong. I did not really apply for a lot of jobs, sitting there every day for at least 10-15 minutes dedicating to applying jobs. I never did that. I just applied for a lot of jobs in the first 2 weeks from the time I came here, and when I did not get any response, I thought Indeed wasn't working for me. So just make sure that you edit your resume in the right way, and you submit it in the right way. Apply for a lot of companies, go to their website and apply for it. There are amazing jobs which pay you really really well, where you can sit at home and work. Some of them, one of them being Bill Gosling Outsourcing. This is one company that I know of, where I recommended a lot of my friends to work in this position too, and they have also done it. I myself have worked in this part-time job at least 3 times in the entire time that I've come here. So I resigned 3 times. That's what I mean when I say I worked here 3 times. And I used to work as a transcriber. Right now the project is over, so this job of a transcriber is like, it was one of the amazing and the best jobs that I did here in Canada. All I had to do was just go and I don't know if I can talk about it much, but yeah, it was just related to a lot of it's like a data entry job. I think that's all I can speak about it. I'm not allowed to talk more about that job, but the best part about the job was, it was a 20-hour shift that I used to do every week. I chose to do it that way because I did not really like to spend the entire week just going there for 4 hours. So I just worked there on the weekends. It used to be a 10-hour shift, and I can just watch movies while I do that. I had complete access to YouTube. I could listen to music, I could watch movies, and then just complete my job. It was not at all a hectic job at all, and they had incentives associated with them. So this is just one job that when I started telling my friends that I work here like this, they were also amused, because they've also never heard about jobs like this. So I'm just saying that it's not just 1 or 2 jobs that you find here. You have a lot of jobs here. Just go to Indeed and just keep looking, and then I think you will find the right one. But the main focus is not to lose hope. Just apply to as many jobs as possible regularly, and then just sit down on the laptop at least for 15 to 20 minutes every day. Start applying. Even if you're in India, you can start applying for jobs. The only catch here is your phone number. I have heard that even in India, you happen to get a Canadian number. Fido is, I think, one such network that helps you to get your Canadian number even when you're in India. A cousin of mine actually did that. He just came here 2 months back. So I think that is something, if it works for you, then just make sure to go grab a phone number that will be under the Fido network, on any network if possible. Start applying for jobs even before you come here. You get a lot of amazing responses. People respond to you on email, they connect with you, they'll schedule it according to your time zone, and that's how it goes. So just make sure that you check on Indeed. Also LinkedIn. I always used to think that LinkedIn never works for me, but it does work. Just go to LinkedIn, search for jobs, search for part-time jobs. Just keep applying. If you see somebody posted anything about that part-time job, just make sure that you reach out to them and comment on it. You know how it goes, right? Just reach out to the right person, and you will be able to get into part-time jobs. I have seen people who got part-time jobs in their respective fields. Now, if you have had experience as an IT person in India, or any field in specific, make sure that you apply for those kind of jobs, because you're most likely to get them because you already have that experience. They would take you. So just remember that the market is really big. Don't limit yourself. Apply to as many jobs as possible. There are definitely a variety of jobs. I have personally seen it. I have worked in a couple of them, so I'm just saying you the same thing. Getting a job here is definitely not a difficult task. It definitely takes time. It's the same thing in India. You just can't get a job if you want to. It takes time, but you will eventually get it if you try to put your hard work in it. Okay, people, so now let me talk to you guys about the next thing that I was not much aware of, which I regret, and I just started it super late. Okay, so doing certifications is a very big advantage, not only in Canada, but I think it's even in India. So I started doing a lot of certifications from my second or third semester. Remember, I told you guys that because I wanted to get into co-op, I started doing a lot of unpaid internships, and most of the unpaid internships, they were also giving out certifications at the end of the job, or at the end of the, how do I say it, at the end of that particular job role, or the duration of the period of when you had to work. They were giving out a lot of certifications. There are a lot of websites like that do it for most. They focus it mostly for students or any individual who wants to improve in a specific field. So I carried an experience of work as in digital marketing as well when I was in India. And for my co-op, I was looking for something into marketing, and I did find one of these websites called International Institute of Digital Marketing, IIDM. You can look for it. They always have a lot of openings when it comes to internships. It is an unpaid internship. However, you get an exposure to work with amazing people. They teach you a lot of things. They teach you a lot of tools. They teach you how to, for me, they taught me how to work on Canva, how to edit videos, all of that amazing stuff, which I again adds a lot of weightage to your profile as well. So I did a lot of certifications like that. And then not only that, now if you want to do a co-op, and let's say so I just know about business analyst, so I'll talk about it. Okay, so let me give you guys an example. All right, so let's say you want to become a business analyst. That is something that I know of, so I'll just talk about it. So in order to do a co-op as a business analyst, make sure that you have collected certain certifications that is related to a business analyst. Again, there are a lot of companies out there who would give you that exposure and experience, but it would be a unpaid service or an unpaid internship. But if I could have changed anything like that, I would have reduced my work hours, because my main focus is to not get a PR here, but to get a good job, which which again is a when I first came in, my assumption was just to get a PR, but I don't think that is what I want. PR is eventually going to come to you anyways if you have the right job. So if only I have focused mostly about getting the right job, I think these could have been certain things that I would have changed. I would have got the right certifications from the time that I've come here, add those certifications in my second year and third year, so that second semester and third semester, and I have got into a co-op of that same field. Even if it was an unpaid co-op, I wouldn't have mind about it. I would have just started working there, because there are high chances if you perform in your co-op that they will convert it into a full-time position, so that you just do not have to go outside, search for other jobs, change in, or try to get a full-time position of just something random. So I think doing a lot of certifications in that specific field will not only help you get a good co-op, but also it will help you get a good full-time position after your education. So that is something that I think I would definitely go back and change. Okay, so the last thing that I would want to talk about is improving your network. Again, this is something that I have never did or never focused on or thought it would have been important. Improving your network will help you to get into good jobs. If you want in future, they would give you reference. And not only that, it will also keep you sane while you are in Canada away from your home. So that is something that I think I would also try to improve. So that's all for today's video, and I'll try to make another one on my course, majorly focusing on what were my subjects and what was usually covered in the course, what was my co-op all about. And yeah, thank you.